Hey there, I just wanted to share with you guys something. I don't know if it's gonna sound strange or weird, but isn't life so nice if you're with somebody with high IQ, somebody with who's humble, and somebody who is very easygoing to be with? You don't have to explain or spell things out to them. You don't have to explain the obvious things. Isn't it so comforting and soothing to be with somebody who has a very how to say, who thinks in a very macro level, who zooms out and thinks in a grand scale of things, who has abstract intelligence and very intuitive, compared to a person who is very small-minded, and they can really get fussy and panicky and worked up and cause a scene with the most filial or petty issues. So today I wanted to talk about how to identify people with very high IQ. And most of the time, I know in today's world, we are finding good friends, we are finding people to mix and mingle with, we are finding for life partners, blah blah blah. We are finding people. It's people who give you problems. Even if you go get yourself into a car accident, it is people behind that wheel. So it's either people you because of people you have positive effect in your life, or because of people you have negative effect in your life. So it's very important to choose the kind of people you bring into your life. It's very important for your own peace, as it is, life is so tough, and if you have to put up with idiots, why do you want to do that, right? So today I'm going to share with you how you can identify people with very high IQ and make your life simpler and easier. First of all, people with very high IQ, they are first and foremost very humble and silent. They keep observing things. They don't fight, they don't argue much. I mean, when the situation calls for it, definitely everybody has anger. Doesn't mean they are just like a Buddha, right? But definitely these people are not small things they would jump. Definitely not the small-minded type, not narrow-minded, not shallow. They won't insinuate you, they won't insult you, and not even respect. They are very neutral kind of people, because highest IQ come from the center. All right, first at the bottom of the brain is your reptilian brain, your mammal brain, your human brain, and then the God brain at the center. All right, and obviously this one goes into knowledge of very high transcendental spiritual knowledge, but I'm just going to be very simple here. Okay, I don't want to play too much with terminologies and all that, so very straightforward. And if you see a person who has very high IQ, they won't assume things and they won't accuse you. To assume things and to accuse someone, it comes from the bottom of the brain. People who live in survival mode, who are always in fear, what do you call it, the fear part of the brain. They live in the Muladhara, they are stuck in the Muladhara. So they are just, basic needs, survival mind, just come here to survive. They are they are just living in the survival mind. They don't go beyond that, and so most of these people, what they do, they are in a lot of fear, and so they do not know how to think independently because of how this world works and corporate owned education. If you see, it just focuses on mainly a lot of brainwashing, not critical thinking skills. Real critical thinking skills is to do a lot of investigation and research, your own independent research. All right, going into the fringes, the dark fringes of society, and looking into things, not assuming things, or not accusing someone just because in your mind you are thinking something. Okay, so it's very important to study characters, because today we see a lot of people getting married and then divorcing because the person is a total psycho or a difficult person to be with, very temperamental. Temperamental is okay, but if the person, how to identify a person as a total psycho is that they live in a lot of fear, and maybe in the past they were traumatized and they cannot heal from their trauma, and so they become very toxic, and it is just a sort of a very skewed defense mechanism. That's all that is. They are coming from their coming from their defense mechanisms because of a past event. So it's very easy to spot this kind of people, identify weak minds. Definitely, you don't want to be with a person with a weak mind, isn't it? You want to be with a person who is strong. You want to be with a person who has a strong mind. You want to be with a person who is very easygoing. Life becomes better that way. So, and also a person who has a lot of wisdom. Now, that is very rare in today's world of materialism and small-mindedness and narrow-mindedness, because the school system doesn't teach you macro thinking or abstract thinking. The school system doesn't teach you to develop your higher intuitions. So most people are just stuck in a very survival mind, and to be a consumer in today's highly commercialized world. Just consume, buy this, buy that, buy this, oh, this product review, that. This is the world focused on right now. Okay, so it's very difficult to find higher wisdom. Those people are very, very rare, very rare to find them. They are hidden somewhere, and if you find such a person, they're very precious. Keep them, don't throw them away. They have very high value. It's rare. Diamonds are not that rare. It's everywhere. But a person who has great wisdom, macro thinking, abstract intelligence, and somebody who has very high intuitive thinking and intelligence, because intuitive intelligence is base, and then comes cerebral intelligence. But if somebody just, cerebral intelligence can be anything, it depends on how you're groomed in school to think. But intuition is truth. You can know things. Abstract intelligence. So it's not controlled by a certain organization or a certain source in this world. So intuitive intelligence is very important. So wisdom, high intuition, high IQ makes a person very calm. They are not afraid, because they know when something bad happens, they know how to figure things out. So they are not in a panicky or fear sort of mood. That makes them calm. And when another person is next to them, it soothes them. It calms them down. Another person who is always panic mode, stressed, and even the slightest trigger would make them angry and temperamental and emotional, or very difficult to communicate with. So this is very, very, very simple. And a person who has very high IQ, they have a big heart. They come from compassion and love, and you can feel it. So don't just settle down. Most of the time, here's a illusion. There are a lot of people, a lot of money, status, and they have corporate-owned academic education certificates. That doesn't mean they have high IQ. There are a lot of people with no education whatsoever, but have high IQ and common sense. So one of the things that people get illusioned with, is that a good person is a person who is able to survive with you, meaning have corporate-owned education, academic education certificates, who has a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. But how is their character? How's their personality? A lot of people marry from very wealthy families and influential people and families, but in the end they run for divorce because they don't have a good harmony. Anyway, my time is finishing. I'll come back in the next video. All right, take care.